Hello. To reply to a question I've seen on the SystemeIO Facebook group, it was how to use Animate on scroll on SystemeIO pages. So to do it is very easy. It's first, of course, you have to use the Animate on scroll library, which is a JavaScript library. And when you are on the SystemeIO page on the editor, you have the choice. You can use either this one, HTML code. So you drag here, and for instance, here I have one at the bottom, and you say modify the code, and you can use your JavaScript inside here. Or you can also use in the settings of the page, you have two places where you can put scripts, and for instance, the header. So that's where you can use it, or the footer. So me, I've chosen the footer. Why? Because in my case, in my page, I want to animate some images that are down below the page. It's a long page. So I prefer to have everything load and then call the Animate on Scroll library. So how do you do it? Everything I say here, you can find it in the documentation of Animate on Scroll. So what you should do is, first, this line is to call the CSS of Animate on Scroll, and this line is to call the JavaScript library. So those two lines, they are given in the documentation. And then after, this is specific to your SystemeIO page, you put a script, JavaScript here, where you will just call the Animate on Scroll library on your specific elements on your page. And so just to show you that here, you see get element by ID, and here you have an ID of image, and horizontal line. So those IDs, if you want to know where to find them, it's on your page. When you scroll to an image that you want to animate on scroll, this image for instance, you click on it, and on the left, at the bottom, you will see a HTML attribute and attribute ID. So you copy, this is the name, the ID of this image. So you need to collect those IDs that you want to move, and in the settings of the page, in your footer script, here you will put them here. So what does this script do? It's just to say to Animate on Scroll library which elements on the page I want to animate and what I want to animate them with. So here you see it's just get element by ID for this image, set attribute data -AOS zoom in up. So on this page I used only zoom in up, and all those names, the different animation, you can find them in the Animate on Scroll library documentation. So what you do only is to set attribute data AOS to your elements that you want to move, and you give which animation you want. And then after you have done that, you have to initialize the library AOS. So I say duration 2000 it means 2 seconds, so 2000 milliseconds. Once true. So all those options also you can find them in the documentation. So I don't think I have to explain here. Disable mobile, it means it will not animate on mobile, and other things. So everything you can find it in the documentation. I will show you where you can find it. Maybe I can show you the example. So this page, you will see when I scroll down, the image they zoom in and up from bottom to up. So see the first image, this one, okay, slowly, and then the second image, same. I used only this animation for the image, and also the horizontal line, the black line, so it does the same, and with the same time, 2 seconds. So it's nice, but it's nothing exceptional. So you can see it's working. And on the website of Animate on Scroll library, when you scroll down, you can see examples, okay, examples of all the animation, and you have the name also. So this is very easy to choose because you can see what they do. And if you want more documentation, you can click on here. It's for GitHub on this logo. When you click, you have the GitHub. If you are familiar with it, you know that the home page, this has a lot of examples. So that's why I used only this documentation. So you need this line to call the CSS and this line to call the JavaScript library. And then you should initialize AOS. This is to initialize without setting any option. So that's why in my case, if you see this, it's here, I put some options, but you can just initialize and use the default options. But before initializing, you should set the attribute on your elements. Why is this way with SystemeIO? So this is difference between SystemeIO and another website. Is because on another website, on the images, you can already put the attribute data AOS with everything, with your animation and everything you want. You can set them when you write the HTML code. But on SystemeIO, it's not the same, because the HTML code, you don't control it. It's made by SystemeIO. So you need to come after and add attribute data AOS to the different elements on your page. That's why it's different in SystemeIO, because you need to do it after. You let SystemeIO generate the HTML, and then you add the attribute to the element once they are once SystemeIO is done. That's why it's good to put it in the footer. Once SystemeIO has done everything with the page, then you can add your attributes on the elements you want, and then you initialize AOS library. So that's the only small difference that you must know to use it with SystemeIO. So I hope this helps. Bye bye.